Alright guys, so this video is going to be about our triangle inequality theorem. Now you will notice this is on page 14 of our notes, so we are skipping several pages. I believe I accidentally put the notes in the wrong order. So first of all, what is the triangle inequality theorem? Simply put, the triangle inequality theorem states that the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle must be greater than the remaining side. So generally speaking, what you're going to do, as a note, is add the two smallest sides and compare to the largest side. Pause here for a moment and make sure you have these two phrases written down. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to look at some examples and we're going to determine if the three sides given to us could form a triangle. You might be wondering when we're going to use this. Mostly we're going to use this to verify that our answers make sense. So number one, the three sides they give us are 8, 17, and 24. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the two smallest sides, or the two smallest numbers they give us, in this case 8 and 17, we are going to add them together and see if it is greater than or less than or equal to 24. All right, so if we add 8 and 17, we get 25. And then because 25 is greater than 24, the answer to this one is yes, a resounding yes. On number 2, we are given 3, 3, and 7. So again, we're going to add the first two together and then determine if it is larger, smaller, or the same as the remaining side. So 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. 6, unfortunately, is less than 7. So in this case, our answer is going to be no. So what I've gone ahead and done for number 3 through 8 is I've highlighted the smallest two numbers. In 1 and 2, they gave us the smallest numbers at the beginning because they listed them in order. However, for 3 through 8, they do give them to us in a variety of different orders. So for number 3, I have highlighted 25 and 12, number 4, 37 and 42, number 5, 28 and 22, number 6, 6 and 14, number 7, 12 and 11, and number 8, 7 and 35. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work through and see which of these sets of sides, if any, can be triangles. All right, so for number 3, 25 plus 12 is equal to 37. 37 is in fact greater than 35, which was our third side. So yes, number 3 can be a triangle. 37 plus 42 is equal to 79. 79 is also greater than 52. So yes, number 4 can represent a triangle. Right, so number 5, 28 plus 22 is going to be equal to 50. 50 is not greater than 50, it is equal to 50. So therefore, this is not a triangle. All right, number 6, 6 plus 14 is 20. 20 is greater than 18. So yes, these three sides could represent a triangle. Number 7, 12 plus 11 is 23. And 23 is less than 24. So therefore, no, this could not be a triangle. All right. And finally, on number 8, we have that 7 plus 35 is equal to 42. 42 is greater than 41, so yes, this can represent a triangle. Take a moment here, pause, fill in the rest of these notes, and then continue on. All right, so now what we're going to do is, giving two sides of a triangle, we're going to find a range of possible lengths for the third side. Now again, why would we want to do this? Well, one thing is to make sure that our answers make sense. We know that if it wouldn't be within this range, then the answer doesn't make sense when solving for a third side. So first of all, I want to go ahead and add some things here. Right here it says finding a third side range, and they tell us to let x be equal to the third side. So first I want to say that a is going to be equal to the smaller number, and I would like for b to represent the larger number. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up an inequality that will always be true no matter what. So if A is the smaller number and B is the larger number of the two that you're given, then we want B minus A is less than X, which will be less than B plus A. And that is going to give us the entire range of all the numbers where if we add the smaller two together, they will be bigger than the third. So let's go ahead and try it with number 9. So we have 14, that's going to be my A, and 22 is going to be my B. Okay, so we have found that 22 minus 14 is 8, and 22 plus 14 is 36. So if I were to, of course, add 22 and 14, that would be 36, so it has to be bigger or less than 36 so that we could add them, so that it would be bigger. And then if I take 8 and 14, add them together, I get 22. And so the third side has to be bigger than that, than 8. So let's go ahead and represent that as an inequality. And I'm going to say 8 is less than X is less than 36. All right, for number 10, 31 minus 28 is equal to 3. 31 plus 28 is equal to 59. And so the range we are looking for is 3 is less than X less than 59. All right, as you can see, I've gone ahead and done numbers 11 through 14. Number 11, we had 11 and 3. So 11 plus 3 is 14. 11 minus 3 is 18. And 8 is less than X, which is less than 14. So our range is anywhere between 8 and 14. Number 12, 45 plus 19 is 64. 45 minus 19 is 26. 26 less than X less than 64. So our range is anything greater than 26 and less than 64. Number 13, 24 minus 7 is 17. 24 plus 7 is 31. So our range is 17 to 31. And number 14, we have 8 and 17. 17 plus 8 is 25. And 17 minus 8 is 9. So the range is anything over 9 and less than 25, but not 9 and not 25. All right, now even though these last two here are going to be word problems, it's the same process. So number 15 says, if a triangle has lengths of 15 feet and 27 feet, check all the possible lengths for the third side. All right, so given this list of different lengths, we want to see which ones do meet the requirements. And I'm just going to use I can use an X, I can use whatever I want. So I'm going to highlight the ones that are correct. So 34. Is 34 more than 12 and less than 42? Yes. 12 is not greater than 12, so it cannot be one of the answers. 29 is greater than 12 and less than 42. 18 is greater than 12 and less than 42. But 43 and 12 are not. They do not meet the requirements. All right, number 16, if a triangle has lengths of 45 centimeters and 9 centimeters, we want to check all possible lengths for the third side. So 45 plus 9 is 54. 45 minus 9 is 36. So our range is going to be 36 to 54, not inclusive. So it cannot be 36 and it cannot be 54. So let's go ahead and look at the answers we have here. Right? 35 is not greater than 36, so we're going to go ahead and cross that out. And then 58 is also not greater than 50, it's not less than 54, sorry. 47, on the other hand, is greater than 36 and less than 54. 54 is not, because it is not greater than 54. And 39 is, because it is greater than 36 and less than 54. So take a moment, pause here, and make sure you have these notes filled in.